Bill O'Reilly, host of the No Spin News, author of the coming book, Confronting the President's No Spin Assessments from Washington to Biden, is with us after the Memorial Day weekend. Bill, we know what you think of the New York business records case. You are on record on this show going through why you think it is a made-up, phony, political witch hunt of a case. All said, well and done. Does a conviction here hurt Donald Trump?
It's impossible really to say, because you're talking about a percentage of people who are still on the fence, which is very small. So the MAGA people, the Trump supporters, not going to influence them one way or the other. The hate Trumpers, the Biden people, no matter what happens, if he's acquitted, whatever, they're still going to hate Trump. You're talking about a very small percentage of the American voters. But I want to make a few observations, Leland, and I'd like to hear your opinion of them. Number one, no matter what happens in this trial, the damage to the United States is substantial. Many Americans now believe the justice system no longer exists, that it's weaponized to hurt political people and others. And there's some truth to that. The actual malice of the trial fuels hatred and divides the American people even further. So the MAGA people just hate Robert De Niro, and Robert De Niro hates the MAGA people. Well, it's going to get worse, no matter what happens. So you're looking at a corrosive display that, in my opinion, never should have happened, because you can't prove criminal intent. Take you back to Hillary Clinton, no doubt. Hillary Clinton had on her private server classified information, no doubt. She erased about 50,000 texts and emails. Wasn't prosecuted because the Justice Department said, we don't believe there was criminal intent. Well, based on what? They didn't want to believe it. Here with Donald Trump, you're telling me that Donald Trump looked up election law and said, hey, we can pay these people off and we'll subvert election law. Do you really think that's what he did? Come on.
Okay, so you're making a point. Right, you're making a point. You're going back to Hillary Clinton, and you're basically saying you've got two sides. It's tribalism. Robert De Niro, who's the actor, showed up today because President Biden's team has decided now they're going to lean into Donald Trump on trial. They're saying they may even come out and have President Biden talk about the trials on and on. But are you not making my point that what the verdict is here, we're looking at De Niro now outside the courthouse, that what the verdict is may not really matter in terms of a conviction that you see Democrats wanting for and dreaming about? I don't think it's unfair to say that a conviction might convince the very few persuadables, hey, Donald Trump really is being targeted. People are really out to get him the way he's always said. Well,
it's a big might there, Leland. I might win the lottery tomorrow. I don't think you can bank on one thing or another. But the Biden campaign is desperate. And when you have to trot out a guy like Robert De Niro, remember, the Biden campaign asked him to do this. Did Robert De Niro persuade anybody about anything? He's not a PhD in political science, number one. He hates Trump's guts, number two. Why on earth would a president of the United States enlist this man to make any case whatsoever in the political arena? Now, if they want to do Godfather 4 and Joe wants a cameo, I'd talk to Robert De Niro about it. But this is just a fiasco. The whole trial is a fiasco. But the danger is it is corroding the nation's spirit. And there is no doubt about that.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.